Hello everyone, Michael here, and this week I am reviewing Project Zero Deaths. But before we begin, if you're interested in short and sweet game reviews, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified. Project Zero Deaths is a side-scrolling versus shooter for PC and mobile. For the purpose of this review, I'm playing the PC version. So right off the bat, I'm going to come out and say I didn't know what to expect from Project Zero Deaths. From right when you open up the game, the main screen is very busy. There's a lot of menus and they're all quite big and chunky, but I think because this is mainly targeted for mobile gaming, it makes sense. The character design is nice and simple, some of them are quite funky. I especially like the bee and the dog. I think the wacky style was a good choice here. Each character has its own unique ability, which is nice. It makes for a more chaotic game. You don't start with all the characters, you only start with one, and to unlock each of the characters you'll need to earn a certain amount of character points. More on this later. I wasn't expecting much in terms of gameplay from a free game, but I'm happy to say I was pleasantly surprised. There's 4 game modes to choose from in Project Zero Deaths. There's a collect the rings game, which plays like a team deathmatch kind of game. There's a bomb attack game where you have to take the bomb and run it into the enemy's base, a capture the flag game, and an escort the payload game. Each of the game modes was good fun. The games did get quite tactical at times. It wasn't just a run headfirst into the enemies and take them out. You do have to think about what you're doing, especially in the bomb attack game and the capture the flag game. The choice of weaponry in the game modes is quite extensive. You pick up your guns in the actual games. You can change your starting weapon. I changed mine to a homing attack, and there is more to choose from than that. I do think some work needs to be done with balancing these weapons though. A few of them seemed a little bit more overpowered than the others, especially the sniper rifle, the shotgun, the laser and the flamethrower. Some of the weapons worked really well if you were working part of a team, like the gravity gun. Most of the time it seemed like a mad rush to get a good weapon over helping your teammates out. You can play with or against your friends, which is fun. I am going to say I think the matchmaking could do with some work though. I was a much higher level than Josh when we played, and it synced me down to his level, so I was playing with people a much lower level than myself. I think it would have been better to average out the levels and even the playing field a little bit. To be able to play each game mode, you'll have to level up to the required levels. I thought this would take a lot longer than it did, so it wasn't too much of an effort. I unlocked them all in about an hour and a half, so that's not that bad. The controls are fine on PC. There's partial controller support and standard keyboard and mouse. There was a bit of janky aiming sometimes, but this was very rare. Personally, I preferred the keyboard and mouse. There's a chest system where you can use keys earned by playing the games to unlock upgrades for your character amongst other currencies and character points. There's 5 different levels of rarity of the chests to open, which contain better loot as the rarity increases. I think this is a nice system in concept. It makes you want to play more games and get more keys, but in practice it's not the best. My problem with it is you only get 3 chests every 16 hours, and for the other 2 you'll have to pay a subscription. Now you can spend 100 keys to drop the cooldown by an hour and a half, but to be able to refresh your chests while you're playing you would need to earn 1,000 keys, and this would take a substantial amount of time. And don't forget you would need to then earn the keys again to be able to open the chests. Now on to my gripes with Project Zero Deaths. Now I understand it's a free game, so in-game purchases are expected, but I think it's a little bit over the top here. There's a plethora of things you can buy in the shop. From vanity items and currencies, you can spend a lot of money here. I think the most outrageous one is a subscription to the game to unlock the 2 rarer chest levels. I just think that's really over the top. It adds a pay-to-win element to the game, especially with the chests. You can buy the gems which you can use to refresh the chests instantly. You can earn the gems by doing the daily challenges, which seems a fairer way of doing it than having the option to spend some money and instantly refresh your chests. Now the game is playable without spending any money, but I do think it's geared too much at spending money and it wants to be a pay-to-win kind of game, which I don't agree with really. So I'm going to give Project Zero Deaths a 6.5 out of 10. I can see playing this in a group of my mates, and if you ignore the in-game purchases, it's a good game. I'd have scored it higher if that was handled a little bit better. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Until next time, ta-ta for now.